Hello, and I hope I find you well. I've done something that is really crazy. And guess what? I have booked for my IELTS academic test, and I'm only left with 2.5 weeks. I've got 2.5 weeks to prepare before my academic IELTS. And as many of you who are on this platform know, I relocated to the UK 3 years ago on a visa, but a lot has happened in between. There are a lot of changes, and you know what? I just rethought the whole journey, and I thought, well, I can as well start looking at my options, start looking at plan B, plan C. No wonder why my starting place has been on writing IELTS, because it opens a lot of opportunities for relocating to other countries, and those countries do include Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, you name it. When you have got your IELTS, then you know you're on it. That's what I'm doing, and I only have got 2.5 weeks to prepare. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 resources that I'm using to prepare for my IELTS, and I'm taking you along with me as I practice each and every day. So I'm going to be sharing with you videos every day until the day I write, and then up until we get the results, and then I'll share with you what the plan B, plan C, and then it's another that I'm going to be taking you along this time, because I know last time when I did my IELTS, I relocated to the UK, I wasn't documenting like I'm doing. I wasn't on social media. I wasn't even YouTubing, but I've realized a lot of people are missing out on opportunities because nobody is taking them along and showing them how it's done and showing them that they too can do it. So no wonder why I've decided I'm going to take you along on this journey. So also in this video, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you my schedule, what I do every day to contribute towards my success in my IELTS. I've mentioned in my first video, go and watch it previously, because I did preempt what the journey is like. I've done this twice before, and and I've also shared in my previous video that I have always self-tutored, and I'm going to stick with the same resources that gave me results before. So the only reason why I'm sharing with you is because these are tried and tested resources. I've been successful twice using them, so this could be helpful. Let's get right into it, because I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to make each and every drop, each and every minute count towards my success in IELTS for the third. So guys, 2.5 weeks is not a long time. I've got no time to be fluffing about, and I have got no literally. So my focus has been on tips and also practicing and seeing where I am at. So the first one that I would recommend if you're on a journey that I am using to do, especially for my listening, because I thought I would start with listening just to warm myself up and boost my confidence and get me in the groove. So I'm using a YouTube channel that is called Crack Up with Rob. Guy tips are awesome. His practice tests are real tests that are like real-time tests. So I've just tried and on the tests that have been done for June, July and August, because I mean that's the range timeline in which I am also doing my IELTS. So it's more current, it's more up to date, and his tips, if you do listen to Rob, I mean, you're gonna guaranteed score a 7 going upwards. So that's the one I'm using to practice on my listening. I'm not turning to any other resources, I swear by Rob. Of course, what in his practice test is, if you can use earphones, but if you don't have earphones, just play it on your phone or on your laptop, and you'll be practicing real tests, and you'll also be practicing how to manage your time. And believe you me, it has started working. I'm going to be sharing with you each and every test that I've done so far, and what are my scores and what I am at as we go into week 2, because I think I'm on day 5 since I started. So we are on a track, and I can see the gaps that I do have. He gives you tips. So you're also at the end of his tests, there are answers, so you can actually write down your answers and then you mark for yourself, and then you can see where you are at. So check out with Rob. I'll put the links in the description, so that if you're on a journey as well as me, or you want to start practicing, then he is the place to be for listening. I swear by his tips. So when you book your IELTS test, part and parcel of what you can access from the British Council website is a whole lot of practice tests. So if suppose you don't have that much of internet to go on YouTube and stuff, just go on the website that you would have used to book, which is the British Council website, and then you log in, and then you go on practice tests. So they do have practice tests for listening, reading, speaking and writing. So at the end of every session that you would have done, you can actually download answers and you mark for yourself. Stay tuned, because I've done one exercise on reading. Oh my goodness, I'm a bit far off the mark but I assure you in the coming week that we're getting into, obviously with tips and with more, I'm sure I would have improved my score. The first time around I did the one from the British Council website, which is the official website, and it's the that you can get from a real official trusted source for IELTS. I did one and I got a 7. So I'll be sharing with you the progress, because remember in my first video that I did, go and watch it if you haven't watched it, because I mean we said countries opportunities really your language score contributes, because this is a points based system. And also employers, actually this is something that I've learned after coming over here, that really countries abroad or for opportunities abroad, when you can speak the language, you've got an edge over someone who can't speak. And the only way that you can convince them or that you can show them that you can speak the language, I hope you can hear me because it's a bit windy. Partly the reason why I'm doing my videos outside is because it's school holidays here in the UK, and I don't want to inconvenience my children and say, well, I need to record blah 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 blah, so do my videos outside. So forgive me if you can't really hear, but I'm trying my level best, and it's a bit windy. Sometimes I do record after work, sometimes, you know, life has to, and I have to take you along with me for the sake of what we're trying to achieve, for the sake of really motivating each other to really take the first step, which is doing your IELTS test if you're thinking I want to relocate abroad. So that website really gets you covered, and that website is quite useful. I'm using it and I'm seeing a difference already. So do practice with those tests. The only thing that you need to do when you are practicing with the British Council website is you need to time yourself. Time is of essence when you're doing your IELTS, because each and every session or each and every section timed. So you need to really practice timing yourself so that you know how much time you're spending on each and every section, as of course that would contribute into how you're going to time yourself in an actual exam. Because a lot of people actually get a lower band score or fail IELTS not because they don't know the answers, but sometimes they can't time themselves correctly and they tend to miss out. By the time probably they are on question 30 or 35, then it's time up and you have to stop. So as you are practicing, let's concentrate on timing ourselves, focusing on more tips that I'm actually using to manage my time in a separate video altogether. All the more reasons why you need to subscribe to this channel and stay here, because we are on this journey together. We are doing the IELTS together in the next 2.5 weeks, because this is a crash course that I'm doing. This is a crash practice session that I'm doing. I'm doing this in 2.5 weeks. I have to write. It's already booked. It's already paid for. There's no going back. The third resource that I'm actually using that works, I've used it before. She's called Fastrack IELTS. She is on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description to her channel. Guys, when it comes to writing, be it or section B or section 1 or section 2, really she's so good. The tips she gives, when new topics she will give you, she will take you through everything. I've used it before and I saw myself really improving my writing. So I'm sticking with her. I'm sticking with the tips. I'm focusing on the tips and also improving my vocabulary and things like that. Believe you me, you will get right score. You will get your band 7 upwards if you really follow her. I swear by her. I've used it twice that I've written my IELTS. I've always stuck with her. So I'll put the link in the description. She's the one that I'm using. Even the way that she explains, the way that she takes you through the things that you need to do for you to score higher. She'll explain even the structure, the marking criteria that they use. I find it more relatable than others when it comes to writing. So be it whether you're writing academic or you're writing your IELTS general, she is quite resourceful, especially when we are talking about writing and also when it comes to speaking. I mean, her channel covers IELTS, but the one that I find more useful and more relatable for me is her writing and her speaking, and the way she explains. Actually, regardless of where you come from, you can actually hear her. Yeah, she's more relatable. She's this in which she actually shares on a channel is quite good and very relatable. So I do recommend that if you're struggling with your writing, then she's the person to go, and I'll put her link to the channel in the description below. That's the channel that I'm using for my writing, and I'll be taking you through when I start writing my essays. I will come here and I'll do videos on that, because I haven't started my writing just as yet, but she's the channel that I'm using already. So let's go to your channel, let's use her. The other thing that I've started doing with my writing is sometimes you don't have the time to do like the full essay, again on the time that you're left with. I've realized that you can actually maybe focus on your introduction or maybe your body paragraphs or just your summary. You can focus on certain things that you know you do struggle. She does give you an insight into how you can structure your essays. Like, also you can also, well, I want to boost my confidence, so I'll start with part 1, focus on my letters. I want to focus on my graphs, everything, my maps. She's so good at that. So she's actually a very useful resource that I do recommend that you use. Her tips, amazing. So let's do that. Let's stick with, if you time to really like not enjoying a crash course, head by them. Her tips, they are just the go-to thing. The fourth one that I do swear by is a YouTuber. Is called Asad Yaqub. Assad Jacob, I love Assad. It's because of her tips lines. Just one thing, he's Indian, so he might sound a bit off, but when you listen, when you start practicing with him, or when you start practicing using his channel, believe you me, the results are amazing, especially for your reading. But if you're struggling with maybe your headings, you're struggling with your true, false, no, not given, I find his tips very, very useful, and he's the resource that I'm using for tips. And also he does live sessions on his YouTube channel, so it's worth it that you join those live sessions, and then you can get to know what's currently happening. Also, you can get to see what other people who are practicing are doing. He does that. He does classes, he does boot camps and stuff. So he's a go-to person. Even if you're not on a crash course, but you're wanting to use his resources, or you want to practice with him, suppose you've got so much time, he is a good guy, especially for tips. He will tell you the tips, and if you employ them, then you know you hit the head. So he is my go-to. I both times that I did write my IELTS, and I came out just but fine. So he's worth using, and then you employ his tips when you start practicing on sessions, or when you start then to go on your British Council website and you're doing practice sessions, you then start to employ his tip. He's another one that I do swear by, and I'll put his link in the last but not least. The fifth resource that I'm using is the Cambridge IELTS Books, volume 10 to 18, whichever you can download or you can get your hands on. Believe you me, these are real past exam papers, so use those for your reading, use those for your writing, and also they give you answers, they give you descriptors, which means if it's your writing, you can actually mark for yourself, mark your work, and see where you are at using the descriptors and the markings have, and you can mark yourself off and see where you are at. When it comes to reading and writing using the Cambridge IELTS volume 10 to 18, what you can actually do is you are writing and you're timing yourself to say, I'm going to spend an hour on this, and after an hour you stop. That way you will know what to focus on. That way you will know where you are at, and believe you me, everything will get better with time. So I so much believe them. So those are the ones I'm using as well, because I've got no time to really be everywhere. I just want to be focused on the resources that I know I'm using. So no wonder why I'm saying, if you're on your IELTS journey, these are some of the resources. I'm not saying this is exhaustive, or neither am I saying this is all that you can use, but there are so many other resources that you can actually use and still pass your IELTS. So there's so much that you can do, honestly. And the most important thing is for you to start practicing, and for you to start really focusing on the band score that you want to get, because depending on what you achieve, some I know for nurses, social workers, and again for Australia, I know you have to get a band 7 upwards. For some, they're quite strict, they want band 7.5 going upwards. For some roles, or for some countries, or for some opportunities, the competition is very stiff, so your English band score that you get will actually get you through when others are being told oh no, or when they are being declined. So let's put all our effort into what we are doing, and we will see the results that we desire. Most of you, I know, will be more interested in my schedule and how I'm balancing everything, because I only have 2.5 weeks. I never skip a day of practice each and every day. So because also I work full-time and I've got a family, I have to make sure I stick to the routine. So what I do normally is my day starts around 4:30 in the morning, and I do my listening practice in bed. And like I said, I use Crack IELTS with Rob. So when you're using Crack IELTS, that will take you 40 minutes. So 4:30 to about 5:15, 5:05 is for listening, just to wake me up, just to get me into the mode. And I always leave midday time when I have to do my reading to midday. It's because it requires concentration. It's a 4 hour, and this is it being academic, it requires a lot of concentration. If you're doing general, it's a bit lenient. I have done general before and I've done academic before, so I leave my reading for midday. So even if I'm working, I do my listening in the morning, then I go to work. Then the other thing that I do is, if I'm on a break, suppose I'm at work, I practice my speaking. I never miss my speaking practice. So this I can do in my car. This I can do just in the park. When I go for my break, I do focus 15 minutes for my speaking, because this is something that I can do on my own, and I'm practicing, I'm with tips and stuff. But if I am at home, which means I do my reading midday, and I always leave my writing later on at night, so I can either practice session A or practice but if I have not been at work all day, then I just do a full session with part 1 and part 2 for my writing. But I always leave that for evening time, just to unwind as the day ends. The other thing that I do as I'm practicing is I stick to the goal and the focus. I do this every day. So I'm in my first week at the moment, and I am sticking to the schedule. I'm being so religious with my practice because I know I really need this. The other thing also that's going to be helping me is the fact that my kids are going to be with family for the next 2 weeks, so that allows me time to practice with less pressure to be with the kids or to organize the kids. I'm so grateful. I've shared in my first video to say, had it not been for the support of family, I don't know what I would have done. So the timing has just been perfect. I'm blessed. That's all I can say, really. When I was planning, what I was looking at the dates, I wasn't looking at where the kids were going to be, but then family just came through and they offered to have my kids for 2 weeks, and it allows me to practice and allows me again to get in right before they can come back from their holidays. So it's just been perfect this summer. But this is how I am spending my summer, practicing for my IELTS, because I know how important it is for me. I don't know how you're choosing to structure yours. I don't know how you are structuring your practice or your routine is like, but you can share in the comments how your routine is like, and we can help each other. So there you have it. That's my crash program. I'm just focusing on tips, practice, and focusing. If you're on a crash program like me, or if you've got maybe less time to practice, really, what I can tell you is it's not about the amount of time that you're using to practice, but it's about how smartly you approach it, how focused you are, and how consistent you are in what you're doing. Believe you me, the results will come. I've done it before, but it wasn't as tight a schedule as this. So put it in the comments if you really want my schedule. I can share it with you, but just type in the comments schedule, and I will share my actual schedule and which practice tests I've done or I'm doing, and I will share them with you. So all I had for you, and remember to pray for me, wish me luck, because I need it. It's coming thick and fast. The money has been paid, the debts are there. It's just for me to turn up with the best version of myself and really do this. So if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and follow this channel, because we are on a journey. We are taking everyone along with us, and also we will be sharing why we have decided to do IELTS for the 3rd time. So the videos are going to be dropping every day, and I know the next video that I'm going to be dropping, I'm sure it will be a reflection of what I've done so far and where I think and feel I am at, and other things will be coming, but it's just around our IELTS journey and also on opportunities that are opening up, and why it's so important that we make the decision now than later. It's always better when it's sooner than later. So that's what I had for you in this video. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.